Vigilante!
Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, 1988, directed by Dwight Little. Alright guys, we've made it. We are more than halfway through the Halloween franchise. If you're new here, I'm Maximus Cardillo, and here on the Are You Not Entertained channel, we have been reviewing all of the Halloween films in the franchise, as we are exactly halfway to Halloween. Well, now at the time of recording this, we are a little bit more than halfway, but when I started this, we were halfway to Halloween. So Halloween 4, guys, I'm really excited to do this review. I looked forward to rewatching this movie, and let me tell you, this movie does not disappoint upon a rewatch. Halloween 4, I'm going to start the review off with this because I am biased, is the first Halloween movie that I saw in its entirety. So I'm a little bit biased in my review. So that's my backstory hinging upon my opinions on this installment into the franchise. Halloween 4 opens with a brisk and lonesome October, and it shows us this scenery of Haddonfield, and it really shows the countryside of Illinois, and it really sets this atmosphere that Haddonfield is just this barren, lonesome, just cold town, and it really gives you these vibes that are very reminiscent of the original, and that is a running theme throughout Halloween 4, because Moustapha Akkad, the original rights owner of the Halloween franchise, that is exactly what he said to Dwight H. Little, the director of this film. We're going to go back to basics. Halloween 4 is exactly that. Michael Myers is in a comatose state in a mental ward, and Smith's Grove Sanitarium comes to pick him up, and the security guard at this place gives the best opening. If the scenery of Haddonfield and its countryside didn't already give you a vibe, then this security guard definitely set the Halloween atmosphere up perfectly. Now, he says something along the lines of, God ain't got nothing to do with this place. And then he explains the events of Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 as they are in the elevator descending down to the bottom floor where Michael is being held. And he teased the movie off perfectly to people who haven't seen the first two. So Halloween 4, for me, when I first viewed it, it was a very easily digestible movie because you are caught up in a matter of 15 seconds with this explanation by this security guard. Not only does he explain it, and it is a great exposition dump, but it doesn't feel forced. It feels very in line, very in place in this scene. And then the elevator finally gets down to the bottom level, and he says, "Welcome to hell." And then you are shown Michael Myers bandaged up and just laying there lifeless. Almost like a Frankenstein's monster, laying on that flat table, covered up, and he just looks completely dead, but you know he's not. Then the transfer of Myers begins, and you get the Halloween theme song kicking in over this thunderstorm, and immediately you are brought back to the feelings of the original, and it just feels like a Halloween film. It is so, I don't even know, it's so nostalgic, I guess is the word that I want to say. It's just so fun for me, and when this scene specifically kicks on, I get excited. I get really antsy, as if like I am a child again watching a Halloween movie for the first time. That's what this scene does for me every time I watch it. God, I sound like a little fanboy. And the ambulance takes off, and nothing goes awry yet. You would think that Michael would start killing or wake up, but no. We get another exposition dump. We learn that Laurie Strode has died, but she had a daughter before she died, and that daughter is Danielle Harris, Jamie Lloyd, and she lives in Haddonfield with her foster family. Michael hears this, and the evil is awoken once again. Michael wakes up, and in a fit of rage upon hearing that there is more people in his family to kill, He sticks his thumb right through the paramedic's forehead in one of the most outrageous kills in the Halloween franchise. I mean, Michael Myers has done some shit, but sticking a thumb through somebody's forehead, through their skull, hasn't been done or replicated since 1988. So after this scene, we are reintroduced to Loomis, and he is pissed that he wasn't informed that Michael was going to be transferred. And he is just going off spewing that Michael is the evil, and he's just going on, and the owner of Smith's Grove, or the head guy there, who is Dr. Hoffman, just thinks Loomis is crazy. He thinks that he is full of shit, and I don't know why you would think this guy's full of shit. I mean, he was there that night when the hospital caught fire, and he was half exploded, half burnt to death like Myers. I mean, he's got the scars to prove it. This Loomis is probably peak Loomis. I mean, with Halloween 6, Halloween 4 Loomis, and obviously the original Loomis, these are the best portrayals of Loomis. I mean, Donald Pleasence is firing on all cylinders here. He is completely done with his ethical reasoning. He is completely done his regular job. He now immediately grabs the gun. He immediately is ready to hop on his horse and ride into town. And that is exactly what he does. After he sees the ambulance has flipped over, he investigates the scene. He sees Michael is nowhere to be seen. He immediately makes his way to Haddonfield, and he warns Dr. Hoffman, and Dr. Hoffman thinks that Michael is dead, or if he's not dead and he's somehow conscious, that he wouldn't be able to make it all the way to Haddonfield. Boy, was Dr. Hoffman wrong. Dr. Loomis makes it to a gas station, and something just doesn't seem right about this gas station. Loomis enters, and then we get this awesome stare down between Michael and Loomis, and it is one of my favorite shots of Michael, where he's not wearing his mask. I mean, he's bandaged up. He hasn't yet found his mask in the convenience store, and you get this dolly-in shot of Michael, and Loomis is screaming, "Damn you!" and he fires at Michael, and Michael just disappears. He just vanishes, and he takes off in a car, and he makes his way to Haddonfield, but not before blowing up this gas station. And right there, that first face-to-face between Loomis and Myers for the first time since the events of 1981's Halloween 2 is bone-chilling. It's awesome. It's like watching two old rivals go at it. It's like watching Rocky and Apollo Creed duke it out, or come face-to-face for the first time since their fight. It's really awesome stuff, guys. Dr. Loomis coming face-to-face with Michael Myers in the gas station is one of the most well-crafted scenes, because leading up to their encounter, Loomis goes for the rotary phone, it is smashed in. Loomis goes for the other phone, the wire is snipped. And it's just this perfect storm leading up to the reveal of Myers to the Loomis character. Let's talk about Rachel for a second. Rachel is the foster sister to Danielle Harris, and Rachel at first, she's a little bit apprehensive about taking care of Jamie because she's got a date with Brady that night, but her family is telling her that she has to watch Jamie, and Jamie's questioning her, "Do you really love me like a real sister?" And Rachel is a little bit apprehensive. She's like, "We're not real sisters, Jamie, but I still love you nonetheless." And then she talks her into going and finding a Halloween costume to wear that night, and she tries to make the best of the situation. But Rachel, guys, I'm going to say it, I prefer Rachel just as much as I prefer Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. I mean, to me, they're interchangeable. I know a lot of people think that Jamie Lee can't be replaced, and she is the main girl, the main final girl in Halloween. But up to this point in the franchise, she only had one awesome outing. I mean, Halloween 2, she was almost in the back seat there. She wasn't the forefront like Rachel is in Halloween 4. Yes, Danielle Harris's character is the forefront. She is the reason that Michael is returning to Haddonfield. But Rachel is that bigger sister, that almost motherly figure in Jamie's life. And she is the one that has to protect Jamie, just like how Laurie protected the kids in the original Halloween. and we are rooting for her because she is protecting the little kids who cannot protect themselves. And Rachel, she is that innocent, almost schoolgirl, geeky kind of, straight-laced heroine, kind of like how Laurie Strode was, but she is not so much a shy, quirky type. She is with Brady. They are making out in the convenience store at his work while she's supposed to be picking out a costume with Jamie. And this is really a tribute to Rachel's arc in Halloween 4. She's making out with her boyfriend in the convenience store as Jamie is picking out a costume. Jamie then has these visions, or at this point Michael actually might be in Haddonfield, but to Jamie's knowledge she's got no idea. She's just suffering from this secondhand PTSD almost of hearing the stories of the boogeyman, hearing the stories of her mother coming in contact with Michael. And she's frightened, and she backs up into this mirror, and the glass shatters over top of her. And her sister was nowhere to be found in the moment. And that is, like I said, a testament to Rachel's arc, because then at the end of this film, Rachel is there by Jamie's side, on the roof, in the car, fleeing Haddonfield. But in the beginning, she's not there to be there for Jamie, and she backs up into the glass and it shatters. So then let's talk about Brady and the whole love triangle that's happening here, because Rachel is fighting for the affection of Brady, and Brady winds up getting caught at this other chick's house later that night. So later on, when Jamie and Rachel are out trick-or-treating, they wind up at Kelly Meeker's house, the sheriff's daughter, and Brady is there, and well, they get caught in this sort of a love triangle, and it really comes to fruition later on when they're all locked in that house. And during this time, Michael is continuing his rampage. Wisely enough, he goes to the police station and very Terminator style wipes out everybody in the police station. This is a testament to the Michael Myers of Halloween 4. Michael Myers here is less zombie-like, less robotic than his Halloween 2 interpretation. He is very smart, very calculated. I mean, he goes to the police station to take out the police force before he pursues Jamie. I mean, come on. And not only that, but he makes sure that Jamie Lloyd is his niece when he sneaks into her house and he goes in the shoebox with the pictures of Laurie Strode, and you see him going through the pictures, and he's like, yeah, it's pretty certain that this is my niece. And Michael then sets out on a goal, on a rampage of Haddonfield. He's just so much smarter in this movie than he was in Halloween 2. And that's why I think Halloween 4 does Michael perfectly. Besides the first one, Halloween 4 is the one that I would point a new Halloween viewer to. Everything except the mask. The mask of this movie is not the best. It is not the Halloween 1 mask. And it's not even the Halloween 2 mask. This mask is... how do I describe it? It is more white. It is more... I want to say round, but that could be attributed to the face of George P. Wilbur, the actor who played Michael Myers in this installment. Looking at pictures of the mask right now, it really just seems like the mask looks that way because of the shape of George P. Wilbur's head. He's a very well filled out guy, and even his head, it makes the mask look a little bit more wider than the Nick Castle mask. But nonetheless, watching it for the first time when I was little, it doesn't really take me out of it as bad as the H20 mask does. Like, the CGI mask definitely takes me out of it worse. The eyes with the big holes where you see Michael Myers' eyes in H20, that definitely bothers me worse than the H4 mask. But, yeah, nonetheless, Myers is at his best here. George P. Wilbur does a great job. Not quite Nick Castle, but I think he's definitely better than Dick Warlock. I think George P. Wilbur is at the top of the list when we're talking about Michael Myers actors. So yeah, the police force got taken out in Halloween 4. So what do we get? We get a militia of Haddonfield. All of the redneck kind of guys at the bar catch wind that Michael Myers has returned to their town, and they hop in their trucks and they go out in militia style looking and hunting for Michael Myers because they don't want the events of 10 years ago affecting their town once again. So the militia sets out to kill Myers, but they wind up killing an innocent man in a shootout. And this is the first instance, I want to say, in Halloween where the evil of Myers, the aura, the all-encompassing loom and gloom really takes over. Michael is not in this scene. Somebody in a Halloween mask is, and their fear, their anxiety is projected on this guy, and he is murdered in cold blood by the militia. And that is really what I think the David Gordon Green trilogy is all about. I feel like David Gordon Green saw this early installment of Halloween and he was like, wait a minute, there is something there. Michael Myers is so powerful. He can kill people and ruin people's lives whilst not even being there. I mean, Myers is ruining these guys' lives by just being a thought in their mind. It is almost reminiscent of a Freddy Krueger type character. I mean, Michael Myers really is a boogeyman, and Halloween 4 shows us and portrays that perfectly. So now jump forward. Now we have Rachel, we have Kelly Meeker, we have the police officers, we have Brady, and we have Jamie all locked in this house. And they are basically held up there, and it is a stronghold or a fort, and they're trying to protect Jamie because Loomis has told the remaining police officers that Jamie is the niece of Myers and he will be coming for her. And so they're held up here, and that doesn't stop Mikey Myers from busting down the doors, sneaking in, getting in this house. And he gets in this house, he kills somebody by impaling him with a shotgun. He then kills Brady by crushing his head, and he makes his way to the roof where Rachel and Jamie have fled to. And this roof shot, it's so good. It is a great set piece in Halloween 4, and it sets the stakes high. And I feel like that's what Halloween 4 does the best. It sets the stakes up high. It ramps everything up as a good sequel should, but not only with these set pieces like the roof scene or the car fleeing Haddonfield and Myers is hanging off the back of it, but in their words and in the dialogue, Halloween 4 sets the tone up high. When the security guard in the beginning is hyping up Myers, when he says that he gives him the willies and he would like to see this one go. Or when Loomis is talking to Dr. Hoffman and he is telling him that Michael has survived, there's no doubt about it, and he's on his way to Haddonfield. Everything is perfectly crafted. The nightmare scenes in the beginning when Jamie is seeing her uncle in these nightmarish scenes. It's all building, and it's all building to the climax as a good movie should. And that is what I think Halloween 4 is, guys. Halloween 4 is a great movie and a fun time. That is all put to an awesome ending with Michael Myers being shot at by the Haddonfield police and falling down into that well. Not only that, you thought that was the ending? No, it was not. We have Jamie, who has on the clown costume, and she has killed, well, we thought at the time, killed her foster mother. And then you get that horrifying shriek by Loomis. Donald Pleasence is really what sells that final scene in Halloween 4 when Danielle Harris's character Jamie has turned to the evil, has been consumed by the evil. And it is a great exclamation point at the end of Halloween 4, the return of Michael Myers. Because maybe Michael has been killed or has been defeated, but his evil lives on within his niece. That is a perfect example of why the Halloween franchise is so good, because the evil is very fluid and it moves throughout the town in the guys in the militia who have killed an innocent man. moved inside this little girl and has corrupted her at this young age. And it is why Halloween 4 and the Halloween franchise is my favorite, guys. Halloween 4, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. It is almost a perfect movie. It is almost the best of the best that you could ever do, in my opinion. Like I said, my opinion is skewed because of nostalgia and all things like that. But yeah, it is Maximus Tomatoes approved. I would recommend this movie to you and to a new Halloween fan. Guys, thank you for watching this far into my review of the Halloween franchise. It has been a blast reviewing these movies with you guys and going through them and talking about them with you in the comments down below. I really appreciate you guys watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to. I've been Maximus Cardillo. Halloween 3 is next, the first one in the franchise and the only one in the franchise that doesn't have Michael in it. But yeah, that is a scene for things to come. Subscribe if you want to see that, and Halloween 2, and Halloween 1, and then we would have made our way all the way through the Halloween franchise. We're almost to spooky season, guys. Almost there. Hang in tight. Alright, there's only one question left to ask. Are you not entertained?